All right, so for binomial expansion, there's a cool little trick that you can, a couple different tricks you can use, and I'll show you how you can do both of them. But for something simple like this, it's only to the fourth power. What I do is on the bottom, I just do the Pascal's triangle real quick. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1. I'm just adding the two numbers right above it each time. 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. And that's the row I'm going to need because it's the fourth power. Okay? So first of all, I take all those numbers, 1, 4, 6, 4, 1, and I write them 1, 4, 6, 4, 1, like that. And then I'm going to take these, the terms, and I'm going to put them next to those. So 2x, and I'm going to raise that to the fourth power. And then I'm going to write 2x next to the next one, raise that to the third power. I'm reducing it by 1. 2x to the second power, 2x to the first power, and 2x to the 0 power, which is just 1. But I'll write it in there so you can see. And then I'm going to do the same thing with 7, but I'm going to put, or negative 7y, I should say, negative 7y to the 0. I'm going to start with to the 0. Negative 7y to the first. Negative 7y to the second. Negative 7y to the third. And negative 7y to the fourth. And that is my expansion. So then you have to multiply everything out. So this would be, right here you would have 2 to the fourth, which is 8 times x to the fourth. And then this is just 1. So that's just your first term, 8x to the fourth. This is going to be 4 times, whoops, I said 8. What should it have been? That's a mistake. Shouldn't have been 8. It should have been what?
16.
Yeah, thanks. This is 8x cubed, and that's negative 7y. I'll clean it up in a second. This is 6 times 4x squared, and then positive 49y squared. This is plus 4 times 2x times, what's 7 times 49? 343?
343, yeah.
343y cubed. Got it? Plus, that just becomes 1. So this is a positive, what's 7 times 343?
7 times, 2,401.
2,401 y to the fourth. And now you can take the exponents, or all the coefficients, and just multiply them together so that it cleans it up. So that's 16x to the fourth minus 224x cubed y plus
54, or times 4. 216.
216x squared y squared plus
negative 2,744.
Yep, that's actually minus. Notice it's toggling, plus minus. Negative 2744x y cubed plus 2401 y to the fourth. And that's your answer. Now, a lot of times you won't see it like this. A lot of times what you'll see them say, so I'm going to show you different ways besides Pascal's triangle to do this. So, but that's the pattern, so you can see kind of how it's done. Now, it would have been a lot harder if you did this, if you wrote this out 4 times and tried to FOIL it, or
That would be fun.
it would take a long time to do. That's why we do this, called the binomial expansion. Okay, it's a binomial, and we're expanding it by using what are called combinations. So another way you could write it is this. If, let's say I gave you 3x plus 7 plus 2y squared to the 10th power. That would be kind of a pain in the butt to do. It would be really long. It could be done, but usually they won't ask you to expand that all out, but they will ask you for, they'll ask you for the x to the third y to the 14th term, that's what they'll do. They'll ask you for a specific term.
Oh, and then
in
you
there.
find the coefficient.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So let's show how we did that. Instead of using Pascal's triangle, I can use what's called combinations. So this number, I'll do this in burnt orange. This number right here is 4, choose 0. That's 4, choose 0. This number is 4, choose 1. That number is 4, choose 2. This number is 4, choose 3. And this number is 4, choose 4. How many ways are there given 4 objects to choose 0? There's only 1. How many ways are there given 4 objects to choose 1 of the 4? There's 4 ways. To choose 2 of the 4, there's 6 ways. To choose 3 of the 4, well, choosing 3 is like not choosing 2.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Choosing 3, it's like not choosing 1. That's why these are the same. That's why Pascal's triangle is always symmetric. If there's an even, if it's an even exponent, there's a middle term, but the other ones are symmetric to each other. So, and there's a formula for that. 4, choose 3, mathematically could be written as 4 factorial over 3 factorial times 1 factorial. And so if you write that out, it's 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over 3 times 2 times 1 times 1. So all those cancel, and you just get 4. That's your formula. So 4 choose 2 is 4 factorial over 2 factorial times 2 factorial. These add up to 4, which equals 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 all over 2 times 1 times 2 times 1. Those 2's cancel, this 2 and that cancels, and you're left with 2 times 3, which is 6, and that's why it's 6. So, follow? That's called combinations. So what is this term here? Well, the way to figure that out is to figure out, again, let's go back and notice here, this 3 right here, I'm going light blue now, that 3 is the same as the exponent on the second term. And then these 2 exponents always add up to 4, or to what the power is. So this is a little tricky. That's a 14, but remember I had a 2 here. So what is it really? This is the 7th. This is going to be 10. It's going to be 10, choose 7 is going to be the coefficient that I multiply out front, right? You follow why? Because the 14 was y squared to the 7th power. So this was the 7th, and that's the same as that bottom number there.
Okay. Yeah.
So if that's that number, then this is going to be 3x to the 3rd, not the 7th, because 7 plus 3 is 10. And this is 2y squared to the 7th. See how those 2 add up to 10. Got it? So then simplify that out. I'll do this down below. 10 choose 7 is the same as, can also, by the way, it can be written like this. 10 choose 7 is 10 factorial over 7 factorial times 3 factorial. So the 10 and the 7 factorial are going to cancel out, and you're just going to be left with 10, 9, 8. That's the best way to do that. The 3 factorial is 3 times 2. So the 3 is going to cancel with the 9 and be left with 3, and the 2 is going to cancel with the 8 and leave you with 4. 3 times 4 is 12 times 10 is 120. So usually you can do that kind of in your head or on your paper relatively easily.
This entire part is going to be calculator.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So 120 is the coefficient times 3 cubed. 3 cubed is 27, right? 27x cubed. 2 to the 7th. Punch 2 to the 7th. Was that 128? Mm-hmm. 128 y to the 14th. Now multiply 27, 128, and 120 together. So there's your answer.